Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dancers Doing Stuff. Today is a very special, important guest. This guest, where do I even begin? Trammell is a really old friend of mine. He's also my boss. We met working at a summer camp, which is like one of my favorite places in the whole world. Shout out Meadowlark. And it's crazy how our paths have continued to cross. And, since I've been in New York, he has been such a big, huge important person in my life, and he is just like the coolest person. He has amazing stories to share. He's an insane dancer and like a soul cycle instructor and like very talented and popular over there with that. He does amazing things for just like mentoring people and is amazing with children, and like I could go on and on. So before I bring him in, I always like to hype up our guests. It was hard to pick a video. Usually I share a video of the guests dancing, like a class video or something. I have some funny videos that I could have shared of me and Trammell dancing back in the day, but I chose not to embarrass us so badly today. I'm sure we'll embarrass ourselves during the craft, but I wanted to share a video of him just like totally in his element, doing one of the many things that he does amazingly, which is interacting with the kids at Eastside Dance Company, which is the dance studio that I work at that he founded. So let's check out this video. So cute. I mean, just everyone, I feel like Trammell has this amazing energy that just like exudes out of him, and like kids, adults, everyone is just so drawn to him, and he is just like such a great light. So I am so excited to bring him on. Let's give a round of applause, a big round of applause.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for that video is Yo, they was dead battling me though. They was going hard.
They always like I don't know what it is.
Like,
Kids
really
are always
go.
trying to battle you. Like really intensely.
All the time. they go for it. Like they get on stage, I'm like, relax. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, all right, we lit. It's fun though. It's so fun. It's so fun.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with our craft.
Okay.
It's gonna be something. So you love candles, and I love making candles, but we realized that might be hard in this structure. So I saw this craft that's like popular on like YouTube and TikTok or whatever, where basically you get these taper candles, like what you would use at a dinner if you had like a fancy dinner. Like who does that anymore? But all you're supposed to do is soak them in hot water, and then you should be able to like bend them into like cool shapes so that they like stand up and look like cool funky art pieces for your home. But so I've been soaking these candles in the water. I put them in boiling water, and that was definitely a mistake because I'm going to show how disgusting my candles look right now. It's not a good look. This is not.
Honestly, this seemed like something that might take a while, because it might take like the whole interview, because I mean, mine is just sitting in hot water and it's mad. It's still, it ain't do nothing. It's just cooling right now.
It
Like
also
it's still
could be
silent.
like
It's real
this just
silent.
doesn't work. I'm gonna try bending it, but then maybe
I
like
think you.
we'll just keep checking in on it throughout and we'll see what happens. I'm gonna see. So like I also spilled. Okay. Oh, okay. I just cracked it. Okay. So that's not it. I'm going to put it back in the water.
It gotta sit in there a little longer. That's what that
Yeah.
is.
That's all right. Okay.
Mine
Well, now that
mine is
I'm
looking real. Yeah, I just cracked mine too. So hold on, let me just put it back in the water. I'll just put it back in the
we're
water.
off
It's
to it. Yeah,
broken.
like it's fine. Like it's
It's
a
bad.
process. It's a process. So
I think we failed already. It's something
it's
about it just
fine.
don't sound right.
Yeah, it feels like this is a scam. It was like one of those like five
Yeah, I feel
five
like you
minute
set me
hack
up.
videos.
I feel like you
Yeah,
set me up.
I did. This
Yeah,
is not the
yeah.
best
Gas me to
craft.
make it. Yeah, I think you set me up. I'm not gonna lie. You gonna choose this one for me, and it don't even work. You set me
well,
up. You set me up.
will
It's alright though.
I don't want to count it out yet. You know, like I think it still could work. Okay. So while we're soaking our
Probably
candles,
tomorrow. You probably gotta soak it for like 24 hours. You think it's gonna work in 20 minutes? It's not gonna work. All right.
well,
Well,
I
okay.
bet. Okay, well, while we're soaking it, I want to know,
Lord.
how did you start dancing? Let's go back to the very beginning
Let's
of your life in the womb. I'm sure you were
in
dancing
the
in the
womb.
womb.
I think that's where it started. That's where it started because I can't necessarily think of beginning time, right? We didn't pay for dance classes. We didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? So it was just more so like music just was me in me. And I think I just came out just dancing. And obviously the biggest influences like MJ, you know what I'm saying? And then Usher and all of them and that's what I grew up on. So my mom always said like whenever we were at an event, I just always found my way to the middle and I was just mad small with a big head and I was just dancing. You know what I'm saying? So I was just moving, and then my mom like she loves music and she dances and she skates and she used to put on talent shows and stuff like that. I like to think that all of my siblings they all could dance. They actually all could dance. I don't know about one of my brothers, probably both of my brothers, but the my sisters could move. You know what I'm saying? My brother's a little shaky, but that's just what it was. And it wasn't until I got into the Boys Choir of Harlem, Choir Academy of Harlem, where I really found my love for dance. And when it was like solidified, like, oh, dance is your number one thing. My mom always kept me active. She put me in martial arts. I played sports. Like I did all of these things. But when I got to the choir was when it was like, oh, you could actually really dance. And then it just took off from there. And that's where it started.
So, for
That's
people
where it
who
started.
might not be from New York, can you explain a little bit about the Boys Choir of Harlem? I mean, I know it's like so famous, but just give a little background of that because it's such a cool program.
I got you. So, the Boys Choir of Harlem was founded by Dr. Walter J. Turnbull, who passed away, unfortunately. Um, and his whole idea was to take a lot of kids in poverty, a lot of black boys from the streets of Harlem, mainly Harlem, actually, because he founded it in the basement of a church, Emphasis Church, and teach them classical music. He was a classical singer and well known, well respected. But instead of pursuing his career for himself, he decided to put that in and instill that into young black boys. So he grabbed like maybe 20 to 30 young black boys off the streets and taught them classical music in the basement of a church. Long story short, he then was able to evolve that into a school, and then it became the Boys Choir of Harlem, which then became the Girls Choir of Harlem as well, which then the school was the Choir Academy of Harlem, and it goes from fourth through 12th grade. You have to audition to get in. Um, I was in there from fourth through 12th grade, so in 1997 I auditioned. My mom had her eyes on them, I think, before I was even born. You know what I'm saying? She saw them on TV, and she was like, I want my son to be there under that guidance. And it saved our lives. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up in Midtown 2628, but I went to school in Harlem, and there's a lot of things you're exposed to growing up in New York City. So without those outlets with people who are role models and people who are really strict and adamant about your upbringing and holding you accountable to greatness, there's a lot of things that we could succumb to, and some of them that we did. But having that background and having the Boys Choir of Harlem and other mentors like Mr. Wright, who also passed away, Mr. Bird, Mr. Robinson, and then Miss Myers for the Girls Choir of Harlem, and so many others, and then big brothers. You know what I'm saying? I'm somebody who never met his father, right? So having that brotherhood and that fatherhood definitely instilled a lot of confidence in myself as a black man, but then also just as a person, a lot of humility, a lot of just love, compassion, empathy, and consistency, and all of that. So we traveled the world, honestly. Like we've been to Israel, Japan, Turkey. We are, fun fact, we're the choir on Jesus Walk. So a few of us actually recorded that with
So
Kanye West.
cool.
Um, and we did a lot, you know what I'm saying? But he really like it was definitely an honor and a privilege to be in his graces and to learn from him and to watch what he's done. And unfortunately, it doesn't exist right now, but we're trying to get that back. You know what I'm saying? Under our leadership passing away and all of that, some other things happen. But there's an alumni choir and there's a committee that's coming back to bring back our legacy and then to continue it. So that's pretty much what it was. The Boys Choir of Harlem, Girls Choir of Harlem, Choir Academy of Harlem. 98%, 99% graduated and went to schools. A lot of them went to HBCUs. So they were very big and adamant about us staying within our culture and not shying away from it because society tries to tell us otherwise, you know. So that's what, in a nutshell, that was the Boys Choir of Harlem and the Girls Choir of Harlem for us.
So cool. And
Yeah,
what are
yeah, it was
some of,
dope.
yeah, so I know that while you were doing that, you're still dancing. You had crews that you were a part of. What was that like
Oh man, I was a part
early
of so many
dance?
crews.
What was
so
that early dance world like? Like before
so
BDC, before all of that, all the people that you were around, like all these people who now are like big names in the industry. It's so
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. It's always so funny because all of our kids and all of my friends through fitness always send me videos like, "Oh my gosh, do you see this video that went viral?" And I'm like, I know them personally. Like I text them, I danced with them, I performed with them, like I trained with them. So within the choir, we always travel. So I wasn't in a dance group until after, right? But immediately after, I think the first dance group that I joined was with Jonah Biddle actually. Jonah Biddle was one of the first dance groups I joined, and then there was a group Illusions in Brooklyn where I met a lot of people, and then from there I started dancing with Little Mama, that whole era where we met like Hollywood. We met a lot of different people, Valentine and Valentine. So Project Valentine, that's where I met a lot of them, and then I started dancing with Project Valentine, and then I started dancing with UDA. And you know the dance scene is so big, but it's so small. Everyone knows each other. So I was
Yeah.
just bouncing around, and I did a lot of performing with UDA. I think I was with them the longest. You know what I'm saying? I did a lot of performing with them. And that's it. I mean, the dance scene is the dance scene, right? It's a hustle. You know what I'm saying? It's a hustle. Everybody's broke. Nobody got nothing. We can't pay for classes. We scraping to pay for classes. So any opportunity of like exposure and experience was what we strive towards, you know? And it's definitely a hustle. You know, it kind of shifted my mindset. I made a decision to not go, as you know, to not go out. And at one point, I was going to move to LA to actually pursue it. But I made a decision not to do that for financial reasons and for other. I just saw, I didn't see myself in that realm for too long. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I always knew like I wanted to own, not even necessarily a dance, you know, studio. I wanted to own a community center that granted an outlet for kids to be able to express themselves, but then also for people who are choreographers and people who studied the craft to be able to come in and instill their talents and their loves and their passion into kids as well, right? It's not just an outlet of I own a dance studio. Nah, it's more so about combining, right? And then also helping people make money. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing with us dancing, right? It's hard to make money. It's hard to keep it, right? You're not gonna keep it just dancing. So early, I was always like, and everyone always said it's not about the money, it's not about this. But in my head, I'm like, it is though. Like I want generational wealth. I'm sorry, like I'm not, you know, like I'm a study, I'm a train, I'm a pay respects to our pioneers. Like I've never disrespected the craft and never disrespect anybody. But I'm also like, I knew that I needed to make money. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to leave my mark, and it took, you know, I had to do that now. So that was kind of the route I took after taking all the dance classes. So then I stopped, you know, the dance groups and whatnot, and was taking classes at BDC here and there. And I took a lot, but then I just kind of fell off the grid and kind of just did my own thing. Um, but yeah, I danced with a lot of groups. Now I think about them, I'm mentioning
Yeah.
it. Every carnival, every Sabbath Rite and Sirens. I was doing like four pieces. Um, a Dre, I just put him in a whole different category on his own because he humbled the shit out of all of us. I don't know if I could curse. I don't know if I could curse. My
It's
bad.
okay.
He
You
humbled
can do
us.
it.
It's okay. Yeah, it was so much respect, man. So many lessons learned. within that experience, and yeah, I'm definitely grateful.
What was your favorite dance experience or dance
I was
job? It
about to
doesn't
say,
have to
don't be
be
like, what was your
paid.
favorite
Yeah.
group?
I
I'm
was
about to say,
like,
don't do
no,
that.
no, no, don't do that. No. Just dance experience or dance job. It doesn't even have to be paid because I know sometimes the best dance experiences that we have are like
Is the ones they
not
don't even
paid.
get paid for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Uh I don't know. I don't know if I want to say it's the best, but I think the one that was the most confirming and transformative for me was the whole process of dancing with and for Little Mama. Because that's where I met so many people, right? Like I was in my groups like in Harlem with I was with Jonah, and then I was with Illusions, and that's before BDC days, right? And it wasn't until when I was in Brooklyn we all auditioned for Little Mama, and every dancer I feel like in New York City was there, right? That's where we met everybody who's killing it right now. That's where we all met. So I would say that period, I think that was like '07, '08, probably like '08, where we all just met.
Yeah.
And then that was a very crucial and important period, just because of the connections, but then to also see so much talent throughout New York, right? All of the different styles. There was the whole thing about commercial and then underground and then battle and it was just like to see all of that kind of coexist and form into what it is today, and then to see a lot of who I danced with and grew up with in that era, to see them on stage and to see them choreographing and to see them killing the Instagram, to see them just doing their things, everything that they worked so hard for. They used to hit the trains and hit all day, every day. Y'all gonna go hit, y'all gonna go hit. Meanwhile, I was working like 7 jobs. Like I always worked, right? So I was working, so I couldn't go hit with them, but we would train. I would bring them back to Project Valentine days. They would come back to my dance studio. This is probably like now in like 2010. I was at an after school program in my hood, and right after that, I was the counselor and the dance captain there. So what I would do was, after 6:30, Project Valentine would come to my block, and they met my whole hood. They used to be on the block, good, safe, and we would just dance until like 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock,
Wow.
4 o'clock in the morning. Those were some of the best moments. You know what I'm saying? Because one, built a family, um, but then you also got to really kick it with genuine people. You know what I'm saying? And watch them live out their passions. And then again, fast forward, like I see like Tia, right? Tia is, I have mad respect for her because I remember training with her and Mikey and Noel and Luce. You know what I'm saying? I remember training with all of them, and we used to go hard. Me and Mikey, I feel like looking at Mikey like, damn, bro, I'm like wilding right now. You know what I'm saying? Keeping you on your toes, and then to watch and see them do their thing, I'm like, wow, that's powerful. So I would say that era of like '08 into like 2010, 2011, that period for those two different experiences and two different moments within that period were definitely like probably my favorite years of dance. And then obviously UDA, we was getting busy. We was just all the time. And they would that was the last that's family, you know what I'm saying? That's where I
Yeah.
met Dina, that's where I met Ryan, that's where I met all of them. And it was dope, man. It was dope.
Yeah. I think something that you really demonstrate well is the fact of dance is so much more than steps and so much more than dance. It's
Mhm.
community, it's a feeling, it's a way to share stories, it's a way to share light. It's like you just embody, like, I feel like what is most important about dance so clearly in everything you do, not even just in dance, just in life. So that's something that I've always really admired from getting to be in your presence for so many years.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's that's what dance is. Obviously, we have to study, we have to pay respect to our pioneers and those that came before us. But the first thing they'll always tell you, and everybody that I looked up to, they're just like, just move and let them become the music. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Obviously, apply your training, but become the music. And what that does, and what we prioritize at the dance studio, is that freedom for our kids to express themselves. But then also, what it does is, most importantly, it builds their confidence in themselves, right? It gives them somewhat of a voice so that they then apply that to everything, right? Our kids, 98% of our kids, 99% of our kids are not going out to pursue dance. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? But it's more so the confidence that they've built within themselves so that they can then apply it to everything that they do. And that's the biggest thing. That's
Yeah.
the biggest thing.
Amazing. Well, it's time for our first game. This
I'm over here checking the
is,
candles.
yeah, like let's check
It's
them
over. It's
because
over. It's over. I ain't gonna hold
it's
you.
not
I don't got no
good.
hope in this. I
Mine
don't got no
looks
hope.
like it's
Oh,
covered in warts.
well, I just broke this halfway through, so you set me up. You got me out here looking
Okay,
crazy. Talk about some damn
maybe it's
candles going
maybe it's because I
in
got
some
the
lukewarm
candles.
water. You
I
said don't
got them
boil it.
from,
Just get
well,
some
because I
lukewarm
boiled it and
water.
look what happened. It turned into a wart candle. Maybe this
You
is the
got these from
craft, you know?
from from
It's
Dollar
like,
Tree.
because, no, I got them from the hardware store, which might be
You got it from
worse.
Dollar Tree. It's definitely Dollar Tree joints right here.
I saw someone like you could put it in the hot water for 15 minutes and then you can like push it and flatten it and then like twist it and then
Nah, they
like
lied to
make
you.
it.
They lied to you. They
Wow.
lied to you.
Wow. I'm
Because you
mad.
mad passionate.
I'm gonna
You
complain.
passionate.
I
It's
was
not
so
gonna
excited. I was
happen.
like, I'm gonna cover my whole
I
house with these
see.
bended candles. No. Ruined
Not
them.
happening. It
Disappointed.
Dad probably got to sit there for like 36 hours, and you got us doing it.
It
not
said
gonna work.
15 minutes. It said 15 minutes.
They lied to you. Because this definitely been sitting in this for like a good 30 minutes,
Yeah, and it's not good.
and it didn't move. Right, all right, my fault. Get to the game. I cut you off.
Okay,
My
okay,
bad.
yeah. So, this is Would You Rather. Don't worry, it's not too crazy. It's not like
I know.
staff night at summer camp crazy. It's
Listen,
like
staff night at summer camp, I never answer those questions. So I know we safe
yeah.
there. I avoid
So-
this game.
Yeah, so don't worry. This is not like that. This is a pre-made game, so it can't be too crazy. Okay, let me see. And if anyone is watching the replay, definitely comment what you would rather. Okay, here we go. Would you rather have roller skates for feet or have scissors for hands?
Oh, roller skates. I'm out.
Yeah.
No,
I feel like you
what
would
you
dance
talking
really
about?
well on the
What?
roller skates.
I'm getting busy. I really want to actually get some skates. I'm not gonna hold you.
Me
I was talking about this the
too.
other day.
I
talking about
actually
this
really
other
want
day.
to too. Because I can't ride
Let's
a
get some
bike.
skates.
So let's do it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm down.
I'll be.
I'm holding
in the
you
streets
accountable to
getting
this.
busy. All right, done.
I think everyone at ESDC should get skates. We'll teach on skates.
I feel
Maybe
like
not that.
Deron. I feel like Deron would be really bad. I feel like on skates, Deron would be really bad. He clumsy, too clumsy. He mad big. He mad big and clumsy.
Yeah, maybe
gonna work
maybe
on
it's
that.
not the best plan for while teaching, but we're gonna have skates. They're gonna be cool, and they have like light up ones. They've got all cool ones now. So
Yeah, I don't want the lighted ones, but we gonna go. That's your game.
okay, next one. Would you rather wear winter clothes all through the summer, or live in a shed in the middle of the desert?
Wait, what? Well, I'd rather wear. How long am I living in the shed in the desert? Like how we get
Forever.
there?
Forever.
No, man. See, if I feel like if I wear winter clothes in the summer, I'm definitely gonna pass out. Might it might be clipped for me, but I ain't trying to live in no desert for forever. Nah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to risk it with the winter clothes.
Yeah. You could just move
That might be a bad
somewhere
choice, but
where
I might have to
cold.
risk it. Yeah, I'm gonna do the winter clothes. The desert's not the
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah, no. Okay, last
not the
one.
vibe. Mhm.
Would you rather have everything you touch turn to ice or never be able to leave your house? Well, that's kind of easy. Because we kind of did one of them already.
I mean, we just. I'm home still. A little over a year. We in the crib, zooming. Everything you touch goes to ice. That's rough. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Every
think there's
single
no way
thing.
around it. Even if you got gloves and all that. So like, even if I go give you a pound, you turn into ice. It's clipped for you. You out of here. So you out of here. I'm dead. Silver Surfer in you. Like it's clipped. Silver Surfer. Staying in the crib though for life.
That's rough. They're both not great.
Who made these games? What is this?
I don't know.
That's a bad question right there. That's a bad question.
Mashups.
The desert, ice, like what's going on?
Yeah. No, they're not great. They're not great.
Yeah, that's a rough one. That's fun though, but that's a rough one. I still didn't
Yeah.
answer because I don't know the answer. I honestly feel like I'm gonna just have to stay in the crib. But then it'll be selfish of me to be like everything maybe I just don't touch nothing.
But like I think
But that's
that's even like your
impossible.
bed, like even your clothes.
Like whatever my body touches, not even just my hands, like whatever my body. So I'm literally an Iceman.
Yeah.
Like I'm like
You
Sub
just touch
Zero.
your nose, nose is
Like
ice.
I'm Sub Zero. Like I'm dead. I just that's suicide. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay in the crib.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
stay
would
in the
pick that one
crib.
too. I would
I'm gonna
pick that
stay in
one
the
too.
crib. I'm gonna stay in the crib. We just gonna quarantine this out for the rest of our life. It's just straight quarantine. I could still make money in the crib too. I could just sit down and do my little dance classes, my little soul cycle classes. It's lit in the crib.
True. Well, that is the perfect transition actually
And
because I
that don't
wanted to
mean
talk.
that y'all can't come to my crib.
True. That's true because it's not like pandemic. You just have to stay there.
Yeah,
And
we
you
could
could just
chill.
get like
Yeah.
a huge house. You could just get like a house that has like a pool, a movie theater, like
That sound like a millionaire, and I am not that. But we gonna
one
we
day.
gonna get there
One day.
one day. One day is lit.
Well, I
Hmm.
wanted to transition into talking about your passions outside of dance and also talk about
Okay.
Soul Cycle because I don't fully know how you actually got into Soul Cycle, and that is such a big part of your life now.
Hmm.
So, share that story, and I'm assuming you're passionate about it because you have done it for so long now. So,
I've been
I'd
there
love
for a
to
minute.
hear about that
So
story.
so this is gonna be interesting for you because I got in through it through Linda and Wyatt Florin.
No way.
I
Shout
thought you
out to
knew that. That's
Wyatt.
crazy.
I
Shout
didn't know
out to
that. Shout
Wyatt
out
who
to
just got
Wyatt.
into
Just got into
USC.
USC.
Woo!
I'm so proud of
That's
him.
my boy. Wyatt's unreal though. So like he's like a
Yeah.
cheat code.
Yeah,
Wyatt's
I'm not
literally like a
surprised.
cheat
I wasn't
code. Like
surprised.
I wasn't surprised at all.
Yeah.
And I was mad that I just walked into the gym and then Linda called me. So I was like, oh damn. And then she sent me the video and I was like,
Yeah.
I would have watched the whole thing. Wyatt's a cheat code. But how I got into it, so I was surprising Wyatt at one of his birthday parties. And Linda was like, "Yo, come." He doesn't know you coming. Me and Linda are close. Linda's been so
Yeah.
supportive my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So we have gotten really close. And she was like, "Come surprise him, whatever." So I went and surprised Wyatt. I'm dancing with everybody, but Wyatt and his sister and Linda are really close with the founder of Soul, Julie Rice. So Julie Rice was there, and she was like, "Oh, I like his vibe." Da da da. And she was like, "Pull him over." So Linda was like, "Yo, go talk to her." You know what I'm saying? Linda was pretty much the plug. So she's like, "Go talk to her." Excuse me. And Julie was just like, "So I like your energy. Do you want to teach at Soul?" So I was like, well, honestly, we exchanged it we was like, we'll talk, whatever. I guess Linda
Yeah.
exchanged and gave her my number, or vice versa, however that worked, I forgot. But I wasn't too pressed on it, only because I never took Soul Cycle, right? And then I was also like, only Soul Cycle I knew was like 83rd Street, Upper West Side. I was like, I'm not about to jump on this indoor. I'm not about to do indoor cycling. Like, I've never done that.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too hyped for it, but Linda kept saying like, "Yo, this is a great opportunity. They're good people. Like it could be a real transformative, time for you." So I was like, "All right, cool." And then like Tammy Eisenberg and so many other people who it's a small circle. Everybody know each other, so they're like, "Oh, I heard whatever." So this was like November of 2013. I didn't I didn't connect with. I didn't fully reconnect with Julie Rice until January. We exchanged a little bit here and there, but she was busy. I was busy. I wasn't too pressed for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't really fully understand the magnitude of soul. So it wasn't until January, we spoke again. She was like, "Look, just try a class. I'll make this super easy for you. Try a class." She booked me into a class. Me being like, I'm a fitness. I box, I dance, I lift, I do whatever. I'm a killer. I went in there and I just completely like it was a dub for me. For 45 minutes, it was a struggle bus. Like it was hard. So I was like, but I like that kind of a challenge. But it was also something that I needed mentally that I didn't realize I knew I needed. You know what I'm saying? Because I was also at that same time, which a lot of people didn't know then, I was going through a deep, deep depression during that period. You know what I'm saying? And it lasted for like almost a year. And so I was like, all right, cool. So, but it gave me something I didn't know I needed. And I don't even think in that moment I could really verbalize what that was. It just felt right. So I did all of that or whatever. I went back. I told Linda, like, I think I'm going to do it. I told Julie Rice, whatever. Julie Rice was like, I bet. We're going to put you in training for 4 weeks. You could come here 3 times a week. Nothing crazy. We'll make it. And then I'm putting you on a schedule. It was like so easy. It was so easy that I was like, this got to be a scam or something like that. Like, it was just too easy. And she made it. She had so much, like, faith in me. She believed in me. She was like, I really think you're going to, like, be a thing. Like, I think you're going to, you're going to be really good. So I was like, all right, cool. Did training for 4 weeks. Fell in love with it. Each training, each class. I was like, wow. At the same time, I was still working on my job before that. You know what I'm saying? So this is before Eastside Dance Company and all of that. So did the training, passed, and I started teaching. At that same time that I started teaching, had a little falling out, well, a big falling out with my previous job. Much respect to them, and I had to part ways. Soul Cycle granted me the financial means to be able to still sustain on my own. So I was like, all right, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? This is the most I've ever made. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really making much at my job before that. I was still working like Old Navy and all these other jobs. So I wasn't really making no money. So I was comfortable with that. But when I left the previous job, I was like, I missed the kids. So I was like, you know what? Eventually I wanted to have my own space anyway. Kind of worked out, got it. And then that's when we ended up finding a space directly across the street from Soul.
Yep.
So with the help, actually, the crazy thing is that Julie Rice and Elizabeth Cutler helped me, not financially, but they just vouched for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm this new. I was
Yeah.
25 at the time, trying to get commercial space in New York City. They're like, "Who are you? Like what?"
Literally
But
on the Upper
so
East Side, like,
on the Upper
right?
East Side,
Like,
25 years old, black owned business. They sit there like, what? So I negotiated the contract. I negotiated everything. I just didn't have the backing. We had the financial backing, but we didn't have the credit. We didn't have no business credit. We have nothing. So
yeah.
Julie Rice and Elizabeth Cullen made a call and was like, hey, we vouched for him to the development and then to real estate, and then we got it. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
that's how those two coexist together and created it. But then I've been at Soul for 7 years now, and that's how I got into Soul. And then we just blew up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was dope to see. It is dope to be a part of, and it kind of shifted the culture of Soul. You know what I'm saying? As far as in that area. So
Yeah.
that's how I got in. Wyatt and Linda Florin, they were the plugs for that. Then Julie
Wow.
Rice just happened to be there, and it worked out.
That's so cool. And I
It
know
worked
another
out.
passion, I mean, clearly we have to talk about your passion for teaching and for kids because that is just, I mean,
That's my number
that's
one right
just
there. Yeah,
like, that's
yeah,
just, I don't even know if it's like a passion. It's like your extra limb. Like, that is just like you. You are so that.
yeah.
How did you get into that? Like, it's just so natural to you, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah. You know what it is? I think that I don't know when the switch was, but when I was in the Boys Choir of Harlem, I was also like an assistant choreographer to Mr. Wright, right? So I would always get help out and whatever, and that's when I knew like I love to teach. I love to help. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, cool. I also knew that like I just felt like that was my thing. You like to teach, you like to help, you like to be a part of, you like to be a part of the process from the ground up and build, right? But then you also like to see the final product of what you helped instill into whether it's kids or whether it's dancers or whether it's Soul Cycle ride, whatever it is. It's that process. It's the beginning, the process, and then the final result where I'm like, wow, like no, nothing can amount to that. You know what I'm saying? Because again, we're developing tools that they can then apply to every aspect of their lives, right? And I can't know, I don't know when specifically was like the eureka moment, but it was just like instill confidence in people.
Mm.
And a lot of confidence was instilled in me from a very young age through my family. I come from a big family, but it really started like with my mom, and then it started with martial arts. My mom put me in martial arts since I was 4 years old, and I used to compete and do weapons and katas and travel and do all this. So that's where I really got my confidence, and I was like, wow. And then that's what I wanted. That's what I still want to provide for everyone else that I encounter in a space where I can provide. So and then with kids, it's just like kids are so smart. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think as we get older, right, we get to a certain age where it feels like our whole adulthood is unpacking everything we learned in our childhood and everything we've been programmed and conditioned to, right? So then we're just adults who are big ass kids who are just lost. Like, where does this come from? Why do I think
Yes.
this way? Why do I process things this way? But in kids, they're in their most honest, most vulnerable stages. You know what I'm saying? So to be a part of developing that and instilling that piece of confidence is where I'm like, that's my role. Nothing else. Like I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna be hard on you. We're gonna have fun. But my goal is to instill confidence in you because it's a tough world out here, right? And kids are going through a lot emotionally that they can't process and spiritually that they can't process. They can't verbalize it, but they feel it. And a lot of times they're shunned, right? And they have to mold into these societal expectations of what it is to be a child and to be popular and to this and to fit into these elements. That's just like, nah, we're not. That's not what this is. You know what I'm saying? So to give them that backbone and to give them that, like, yo, you are who you are. And if you want to work hard towards this, you work hard towards this. And you continue to do that, regardless of what your mother says, regardless of what your dad says, regardless of what your teacher says, or I said, or whatever, other friends. If this is what you're passionate about, yes, use their guidance, but their guidance can't dictate what it is you should do in your life. And a lot of times kids are being dictated opposed to being helped and molded around what it is they're passionate about and what it is they're feeling. So I just said a whole lot
That was a
and
mic
forgot what the
drop
question
moment.
was. I forgot what the question was, but that's
Just
it. And I
about, I
hope
mean, that's clear because it was about like your passion for teaching, which clearly
oh yeah.
that you answered that very well. So don't, you got the question right.
Okay, there we go. There we go. I was like, I
So,
just went on a tangent. I said I forgot where we was
no, it
at.
was the best tangent ever. So, what are
There we
some of
go.
your other passions besides Soul Cycle, besides teaching, besides dance, besides fitness?
I I am well. I was going to say martial arts, right? So
That
boxing and
counts. That
martial arts.
counts.
That boxing and martial arts. They were my first loves. You know what I'm saying? Like if it wasn't for dance, if it wasn't for singing with choir and all that, I honestly probably would have pursued some form of martial arts. You know what I'm saying? Or
Wow.
pursued boxing or something like that. And that's a passion of mine right there. You know. And then another thing is I used to draw. You know what I'm saying? So I can still do a little something like that. I
I
could draw.
forgot about that. Your
Um,
your lion drawing. I'll have to share a picture of
yeah, I
that. That
forgot.
lion is good.
Yeah, that was from like mad long ago. Don't share that. I could probably do better now.
Okay,
Maybe
okay.
not.
Do a
It's been a
better one.
long
Do a
time.
better.
Now you can share it.
I mean, I
Okay, you can share
know
it.
you're really great at French braiding my hair.
You know what I'm
That's a
saying? I'm nice
passion.
with that. You know what I'm saying? I do my own hair and all that. You know what I'm saying? So we out here. We just trying to do all things. You know what I'm
And
saying? But yeah,
we can't forget your children.
my dogs. My dog. I had to lock them in a room because I knew they'd have been in here a while. It's about, I'm gonna feed them after this and walk them. So I know they've been bugging out.
Yeah.
But my dogs, man, I train dogs, and Cyrus is 12. He's gonna be 12 in June. Sage is gonna be 9, and
Wow.
Bella, I have Bella now, which is my mom's dog, but I had her for quite some time, and most likely keeping her. She's a little over 2. So everyone who knows me, like my whole hood, my block, know they see me outside with the dogs. My dogs is climbing trees. Everybody knows them. Like that's a passion, and pit bulls specifically because they're
Yeah.
so misunderstood.
Yeah.
You know, loyal but so misunderstood, and their loyalty is used against them. So those are passions of mine as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Amazing.
those are
Well,
passions of mine.
it is time for our next question. I realized I was so excited to get to Would You Rather. I didn't even do my little
Oh, question. She
graphic.
fancy. She
Ooh.
said I'm fancy. She said I'm fancy, yo.
Okay, so
Yo,
these
yo,
questions,
this is trash.
the candle, it's not good.
It's not working. Dollar Tree.
It's really not. I just have like a messy, like half melted candle in some water right now. That's like, it was not
That
good.
is
I
nasty.
kind of, I
Yes,
kind
it
of
does.
predicted that is bad. Is bad. It was not
Yeah,
good.
it's over. This is a bad one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love you, but this is a bad one. All right, what's the question? What you
Okay.
got for me?
Okay. So, these questions are gathered from various places in the internet, loosely color coordinated. You know I love organizing. So, today I actually just recently recolor coded the whiteboard at the studio. So, you'll see that next time you go
Okay,
there.
check you out.
But I'm going to pick randomly. We don't know what we're going to get. Some of them are deep, some of them are funny. I might veto one if they're like one we've done before, but we'll see what we get. If anything
Okay.
is too personal, you can always pass. But let's
Got
see
you.
what we get. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Okay. Oh. Oh. Let's see. Okay. Which color would you like to do first?
Let's do purple. Let's get purple popping.
Ooh, a deep one. What would you like to
Okay.
change about yourself?
What I have to change about myself? It's not a what I'm working on. It's not deep. I'm horrible with texting.
Oh,
So
that's true.
like
I didn't even realize.
I've not lost, but like I have people who I'm cool with, and I love them to death, who like really take it personal because they think it's just them, and I'm like, yo, like for example, like today, I woke up, ran the dogs outside, trained, went to Westchester, taught classes, came back, took the dogs out, had a meeting, went and taught the kids, came, and I get text a lot of texts throughout the day, so I'll get to some, and then some I'll look at, and I'll be like, I'm gonna get back to them, and then look, I came home. Now we doing this. By the time I walk the dogs, it's already 10 o'clock. I'm like, I'm not texting you back right now. Like it's over. So, but then I forget by tomorrow. So a lot there's people in my life who like are like, I don't like him. I don't talk to him no more because he's just on a fourth. And I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. I'm just really bad with it, and I'm working on it. I'm not saying accept it. I'm working on it, but it ain't personal. If you talk to
You have
anybody in my
gotten
life,
really better. You've gotten a
I've
lot
gotten
better with
better.
it.
I've gotten better, but it's still bad. You know, I gotta admit it. But there's people who will be like, "Oh, he's this and he act funny because this and a fourth." Some dancers too. I'll be like, "You don't stop this shit." They be like, "Oh, he act funny." I'm like, "Listen, if you go to anybody in my life right now, regardless, they gonna tell. My mom is gonna be like, yo, he's horrible at texting." You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm working on that though. That's what I'm working on.
You
That's
know,
what I'm
I
working on. So
actually
I would
do have
change
a
that.
funny story of like one time, I don't know when it was, but you texted me one time, hey, what's up? And I wrote back right away. And then 4 months later, you responded as if like we were just in the regular. You were like, no way, that's crazy. Da 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 da. Like, I was laughing so hard because it was just
That
like
sound like me.
so
That's bad.
you. It was
That
so,
sound
but
like
that
me
was
too.
so
So
many years ago. So you've
yeah,
grown.
nah. So if anybody who watching this and you know me and you don't like me no more because of text messages, it ain't got nothing to do with you. I promise you. Because if it had something to do with you, I would tell you. I would let you know.
That's
Like,
true.
listen, I'm not really rocking with you no more. You know why? You gotta take it or leave it. Like it is what it is. But yeah, so I'm working on that. I'm working on that.
Amazing. Okay. Next question.
Orange. Is that orange?
Yeah, well, for me, it's green, so who knows? But
That's that's green.
no, like the other side.
Oh, okay, okay. I was like, gotta get my eyes checked. Thought I had good eyes.
Oh, okay. What food will you absolutely not eat under any circumstance?
Fish.
Fish, me too. Blech, gross.
Fish. Well, I'm allergic to fish, but it's also just like fish. Yeah.
Yeah,
Under no circumstance, like there's nothing. You
yeah.
can't do nothing.
Not even like fish
It's game
flavored
time.
things.
Nothing that smells like fish, that tastes like fish.
Blech.
Your fork. You can't share a plate with me and a fork touch the fish and then go to the chicken. I get instantly nauseous.
Yeah.
Doesn't work. Doesn't
Okay,
work.
next question.
Do blue.
Has life been hard on you so far? I mean, it's like we're laughing, but like, yeah.
Yeah. Long story short, 3 years ago, I had a heart attack in the back of an Uber, and should have been dead based off of what the doctor said. I had multiple massive clots invade my heart and my lungs. Apparently, I was sick that whole month and didn't know the severity of it, but my doctor results always came back fine. So I had the heart attack. I got to the hospital. They said, "Oh, you had a pH level of 6.8. You should be dead." Went under surgery. They were like, "We don't know if he's gonna make it. If he does wake up, he'll have brain damage." Luckily, I didn't have either one. Recovery was, hard, but I had a great support system and bounced back and was back in work in like 2 months. And then fast forward to last May, I had a stroke. So, because they think it's because of COVID. I had COVID in March when everything
Wow.
first shut down. My COVID symptoms weren't even that bad. They only lasted for like 4 days. I just had extreme fatigue for like 2 of those days, and another 2 days were like body aches, lower body aches. Then I was fine, or at least I thought I was. And then I had a stroke in May, so I was in the hospital for almost a week. And I'm only 32. So that says a lot. Life is, and there's so many things that happened before, like with my younger sister passing away, my mom's sickness, so many different things. So life has definitely been, I've seen a lot of death and near death experiences, and it's definitely been difficult, but a
Yeah.
lot of perspective from all of the experiences.
Yeah,
It's
that's
kind of
it's
crazy,
kind of
right?
funny that that was a question of all the
It says
questions
life has
that
been
could have
hard. I'm
been.
like,
It's like, yes, and like,
I'm like,
as someone
well,
who was working for you and is friends with you during that time, like, yikes. But if anyone could get
yeah,
through it, like you, like, oh, I can't even get into it. Like seeing you at the hospital, oh, I'm gonna
yeah,
get
I know that was
emotional thinking about
crazy.
that. Like, that was like 2 days
Yeah,
after or something. Like, oh my god,
yeah.
wow. But of any person that I've ever could ever meet, like, if I think like, if someone's like, who's the strongest person you know? I'm like, Trammell, 100%. Not just physically, like mentally, heart wise. Maybe not your actual heart. It has had some some
That's a
roughness.
little
It
rough,
might
little
not.
edge, you know what I'm saying? You know
But
what I'm
like
saying? It
just
might be a little
everything
rough on
about you.
that.
Yeah. But yeah,
A little rough
wow.
on
That
that.
is crazy that that
Yeah,
was a question. Okay,
that's kind of
last
wild.
question is another food related question, which is strange. What is your culinary specialty?
I mean, it's sad, but I mean, I mean, specialty. That's a lot to say. Specialty. That's a lot to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I could do a little some. I mean, specialty is that's a lot.
Well, like,
That's
what's
a
something that
lot.
you like to cook?
I
If you
mean,
ever cook.
I'm not gonna lie. This sound like mad typical, but I can make some bomb wings though.
I was
Like
gonna say, we have had like some wing competitions at your house, like a lot of, I don't know
I
which
could, I
ones
could,
were yours, but
I could
I
make
would say
some
all the
bomb
wings were
wings.
good.
I can make some bomb wings. Yeah, I can make some bomb wings. Like if somebody was like, "What's your?" I'll be like, I'm a body some wings right now." And it's like, my mom taught me how to cook. Like to say specialty is hard, but my mom is a great cook. So she
Yeah.
taught me how to cook and bake from a very young age. She was like, "You're gonna learn all of this." My mom literally taught me how to mount TVs, mount shelves, cook, clean, do laundry, all before 10
Wow.
years old. Like she's on a whole different level of just like a specimen that is just out of this world. So I can cook. Like she taught me how to just like if I see something, you know the basics, and then you experiment, right? So steak, I could kill a steak. I could kill some wings. I could grill a mean burger. Like you put me on a grill, that burger gonna be lit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit down and be like, yo, I'm gonna bust down this lasagna real quick. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put my life on that.
Yeah.
But like I could do a little sun. Specialty is just rough though, but wings, I say that
Yeah.
will fall under my specialty if anything.
Okay. Cool. I'll accept that
Yeah.
answer.
I
So
could
the
cook a little
last
something though. I ain't
question.
gonna lie. I could do a little
Yeah.
something.
The last question. Now I'm like thinking about wings. The
Yeah, I want some bad right now.
yeah, I haven't had wings in a long
Yeah.
time. Okay, so
I
the
just want dog.
last
There we go.
question that I ask everyone is,
Hmm.
what brings out your most creative self?
What brings out my most creative self? The crazy thing? Um, Anything last minute. I don't know if that's a good answer, but like
Interesting.
I
I've not
I
had
am
anyone say that.
like if you put me under pressure and you'll get a lot of creative stuff. And I realized that about myself. Like at first I was just like, oh, you just procrastinate, you don't do whatever. And there's even moments where I'll prep and I'll do it and it's lit. But then I get put under pressure and I have to think right there in a moment. And for some reason, all of these just start to go. And I've seen that. I've experienced that till this day. Everything and like it just happens. So if I'm put under pressure, I I don't know what happens, but I get super creative and I get excited about that pressure. Like when it's
Mm,
last minute, I get mad excited. Like I get hype. I'm not
yeah.
hype if I'm prepping before. So that's why with anything talking wise or anything going to create something or go do this project, I'm like, I'm gonna just show up and then we'll figure it out. And
Yeah.
that's pretty much what it's been. I'm not gonna sit down and act like that's the best method. It's probably a lot to do with me being lazy when I'm not working, but a lot comes out from that.
Nice.
A lot
That's
comes
a
out
new
from that.
one. I haven't heard, a
Yeah.
lot of people have said like similar things, and that is a new one. So that's very cool. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being here. If people want to
Thanks
find
for
you,
having me.
of course, of course.
I
How
love
can
you.
people get in touch? Clearly not through text, but
Don't
where?
text me. Don't text me. Just DM. You can see me. My Instagram. You already logged that in right there. My Instagram. Come check out. Come see the dance studio. Come see Haley run that. Let's talk about Haley real quick. I noticed her, but Haley, I don't know what I would do without her. She been running this bad boy. Like I feel so confident with just being like, I don't gotta go there. I don't gotta talk. I'll touch base with Deron. I'll text you like, hey, whatever. So Haley is dope, y'all. I don't know if anybody let y'all
Thank
know
you.
that, but she
Thank
is
you.
dope, and she is amazing, and she is reliable, and she's super talented, and we definitely need to see more dance videos of Haley because she be holding back.
I know, I know. Oh.
And she sings. She do math. She act. When I met her, she
This isn't
sing,
about
dance,
me.
act. I don't care. The world gonna know what's going on your side. You be humble and all nervous and shit. We not doing that. All right. So you
Yeah.
can find me. You can come
Okay.
by the studio,
Okay.
watch what Haley do. Instagram, and that's about it. I ain't gonna hold you nothing else. I'm
Awesome.
not on TikTok or nothing
Awesome.
like that, so we
Yeah.
good.
That's not your vibe, TikTok.
TikTok and Twitter not really my vibe. I'm gonna leave that alone. Yeah. We're not gonna hit all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the beginning of quarantine, I did do TikTok. I downloaded TikTok, and then I looked at myself for a whole week and was like, "What are you doing, bro?" It was just COVID. It was COVID. It was
Yeah.
COVID getting to me.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
one of the symptoms. TikTok.
Yeah. TikTok. Download TikTok and get lit. It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
Amazing.
it. That's it though.
Awesome. Well, definitely, if you would like to, I mean, Trammell already sang my praises, but if you'd like to find me, definitely you can check out my Instagram, and definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so
Oh,
definitely
it's lit.
subscribe, and definitely also check out the audio version of this podcast. It is Dancers Doing Stuff on all Spotify, Apple, Castbox, wherever you have podcasts, it should be there. So definitely give it a subscribe over there. This will come out in a few weeks as the edited audio version, so we'll be nice and tailored as much as possible. But this was so fun. I'm so
So
sad that
fun.
our candles are garbage.
Was a complete
Um,
fail.
Total
Don't
fail.
any other guests
Complete
that come
fail.
here. Don't let her set you up like she set me up. Look, it's not a damn
Yours
thing.
doesn't
Look,
even look like it was
look.
wet.
It's been wet this whole time. Like it's been sitting in the water this whole time. It's trash.
Yeah, this was not great. This mine still looks pretty bad. I think I could.
It's a bad vibe.
No, yeah, it's
You gonna
ruined. It's
break? You
ruined.
broke it. You broke it.
Yeah,
It's over.
I did. I did. It was not good. It was not good. Okay,
Horrible.
well, thank you so much again for being here.
Nah.
I'm sure I
Thanks
will
for having
see
me,
you
Els.
very soon, and I will
I'll
not
see you.
text you.
Done. All right.
Bye.
Later. Bye, Els.